Hello, everybody. This is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Part 6, Chapter 6. The group reassembled on the terrace, while the children took their supper. The consciousness that an important event had occurred, although it was a negative one, weighed upon everyone, and in order to cover the general embarrassment, they talked with a forced animation. Sergei Ivanovitch and Varka seemed like a couple of students who had failed their examinations. Levin and Kitty, more in love than ever with one another, felt guilty in their happiness, as if it were an impolite comment upon the unskillfulness of those who did not know how to be happy. Stepan Arkadyevitch and, perhaps, the old prince were expected by the evening train. "Take my word for it, Alexandre will not come," said the princess. "He pretends to think it wrong to disturb the freedom of young married couples. Papa's quite abandoned us. Thanks to this principle, we are not to see him any more. And why does he look upon us as young married people when we are already an ancient couple?" The sound of a carriage in the avenue interrupted the conversation. "It's Stifa," exclaimed Levin, "and I see someone besides him. That must be Papa. Grisha, run and meet them." But Levin was mistaken. Stepan Arkadyevitch's companion was a fine, tall fellow named Vasenka Veslovsky. He wore a Scotch cap with long floating ribbons and was a distant relative of the Sherbatskys, one of the ornaments of society at Moscow and Petersburg. Veslovsky was not in the least disconcerted by the surprise which his appearance caused. He greeted Levin gaily, reminded him that they had met before, and lifted Grisha into the carriage. Levin followed on foot. He put out all the non-arrival of the prince, whom he liked, and still more so at the intrusion of this stranger, whose presence was quite unnecessary. This unpleasant impression increased when he saw Vasenka gallantly kiss Kitty's hand before all the people assembled on the doorsteps. "Your wife and I are cousins and old acquaintances," said the young man, pressing Levin's hand a second time. "No," said Oblonsky, greeting his mother-in-law and kissing his wife and children. "Is there any game?" "We've come with murderous intent, Veslovsky and I. How well you look, Dolinka," he said, kissing his wife's hand and caressing her affectionately. Levin, who had a few moments before been so happy, witnessed the scene with indignation. "Whom did those same lips kiss yesterday?" thought he, "and why is Dolly so pleased when she doesn't believe he loves her any longer?" He was vexed at the gracious reception given Veslovsky by the princess. The politeness of Sergei Ivanovitch towards Oblonsky struck him as hypocritical, for he knew that his brother had no very high esteem for Stepan Arkadyevitch. As for Varenka, she seemed to him like some demure nun, capable of making herself pleasing for the sake of a stranger, though she didn't dream of marriage. But his displeasure was at its height when he saw Kitty return the smile of this fellow, who apparently considered his visit as a piece of good fortune for everyone. The smile would confirm him with this absurd conceit. When they all went chatting into the house, he seized the moment to escape. Kitty had observed her husband's ill humor and ran after him, but he shook her off, declaring that he had business to attend to at the office, and disappeared. His occupation had never seemed more important to him than they did today.